Hey guys, it's Cole here. Welcome back and welcome to a video where today we're modifying the Lego Lamborghini Urus into an off-road truck, or off-road SUV I suppose. And we're just going to start by taking these like track-focused modifications that my brother had applied to the Urus set. And yeah, today's video we're just going to add some wide fenders. This is going to be a multi-part video, so this first one's basically just adding the wide fenders. And the second here we're going to switch over to nighttime because that's when this video is kind of recorded in multiple parts and then we stuck them all together. So any second now we're going to go change the lighting a lot. And there we go. So I sped this up because if I didn't speed it up it would be a very long video. So basically, oh also that's my brother's hand over there, in case you're wondering whose hand that was. But basically he's helping me with a couple of these little bits and pieces. But in today's video we're just going to see how we can make everything look wider, because the Urus is a nice Lego set. It was not perfect, but it is very wide, so I figured why not make it wider, and that's what we're going to do in today's video. So start by basically taking the fenders off and bringing the fenders out by one stud to make it one stud wider on each side and making it very, very wide. So just looking to see what would how we could attach the fenders, or basically when they're extended outward. So there's that coffee stand from the Lego set Bean There Donut That is the actual name of the set, but basically it was a little well, it was exclusive to Target, I believe the set was, but basically yeah, it's a little set, and I didn't really care about it anymore, and so we're just taking it apart and use parts from it to create this crazy off-road monster truck thing. So let's move on here. We got the little curved slopes to go over the fender. That's a nice design. I think if I might try and build a Liberty Walk supercar in the future, like an Acura i8 Nissan GTR. Maybe not Nissan GTR. Lego has one already. It works okay. It looks okay. But maybe we'll try Nissan or BMW i8 or Acura NSX or something like that. The wide body kit. Maybe we'll try these fenders on there, because it's kind of a nice design for a wide body fender. Because obviously these cars are supposed to be wide, so I find that when you exaggerate it, it's hard to tell. It's hard not to tell it's a wide body kit, and that's definitely in the case with this model, which as you will see later in the video. Here you got a nice wider axle, obviously, to move the wheels further out, so that way they fill in the new fenders, or mud guards or fenders, whatever you like to call them. Typically on Bricklink, where I get all my parts from, they call them, not all my parts, but I get some of my parts from there anyway. Typically there they call them mud guards, which can be a bit confusing, because typically I call them fenders, but often I refer to the Lego ones as mud guards, because that's how Bricklink refers to them. Basically here we're just taking apart the front end now and seeing how the fenders can extend those fenders. I'll put that in there. I was kind of surprised when I got the this Urus set how cramped the interior was. I also have the I-Pace set, or I had the I-Pace set. Now it's disassembled and it's been rebuilt into other models. Basically the I-Pace only had 2 seats, which is something of a downgrade over the Urus, which could fit 3 people at maximum, which is obviously is not like a real Urus. But basically the I-Pace could fit 2 people, or 2 minifigures I suppose, rather sort of comfortably, but the Urus fits 3 minifigures rather squashed. So 2 very cramped in the front and 1 very, very cramped leaning down in the back part of the Urus. I think Lego could have made it a little bit better, but I'm not really sure why they didn't. I feel like with all that space in there, they could have made a little bit of a better interior. I'm not entirely sure why they made it so cramped. So basically, we got these wheels on there, and it looks pretty good. But the side exit exhaust, I was kind of surprised why Lego, or kind of not surprised necessarily, but I was kind of interested. Lego put the side exit exhaust on the Urus. Now, if I haven't really paid much attention to the details of a real life Urus, but I'm pretty sure the exhaust exits from the back. So I'm not really sure why this exits from the side. The reason it might be is because this is based on the Urus STX, which is apparently some racing version of the Urus, kind of like a Huracan Super Trofeo, but like a Urus version for road racing. Apparently Lamborghini is going to race these in 2020, but they I guess they've been delayed, so maybe they're going to race them this year, maybe sometime this year, maybe even next year. I have no idea. I'm not really sure. I only heard of them once, and so this could be the reason why it has a side exit exhaust. I'm still not entirely sure why. But as you saw earlier, replace the side exit exhaust with a piece that kind of makes it look more aggressive, but although I might change it out in the future. So now we're just going to see how all everything rolls in there. We got some little pieces on the front, and you got the roof on there, and just see how everything looks. Now the front axle at this point wasn't really fitting in that well, so we're just going to make some modifications to that. Also, I found this push bar piece, or piece that I could use as a push bar, so I'm just going to see how that looks up there, but I didn't end up putting anything on there. Then I decided I would increase the ground clearance and the suspension travel, and just required a little bit of modification to the rear end of it. Take the whole thing apart, the whole axle anyway. And then looking through that large bit of unsorted parts, which you can see on the upper left-hand corner. Now, I am going to release instructions for this model in the future once it's all done. This is the first part of the video, and you could slow it down if you want to. You know, in the lower right-hand corner, there's a gear icon. You can hit that gear, and you can slow down the video if you like to kind of get the idea of how I'm building this. But basically, you could you kind of use that if you want to. But I'm going to be releasing instructions eventually, but it'll be a little bit until then. We're just seeing how this goes. Now I got this really weird Technic axle pin, which you'll see here, which for some reason wasn't going in at all. It kind of I ended up getting scratched trying to force it in there, and it was kind of weird. It was bent a tiny little bit. And it didn't really. It was really weird anyway. I haven't seen anything like that before. So tried to bend it back into place, didn't work, and yeah. So anyway, we're just going to refit the front fenders again, and I've came back with a band-aid, as you can see from that weird scratch that it gave me. So we got the front fenders in there now, and then obviously we got that blue axle pin in there. It's kind of annoying that Lego only makes these axle pins in blue and tan, because obviously neither one matches very well the rest of the car, or typically whatever car you're building. Now, as you can see, it's done here, or well, it's not done necessarily, but it just kind of filled in all the other parts. Doesn't look too bad. Obviously it's mismatched. It looks very wide and aggressive, so I think it's pretty good. So like I said, we are going to be releasing instructions in the future, so you can stay tuned for those. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to get notified when next videos come out, and I will see you next time.